Friends, hello and welcome on TechGuruSpeaks.com. Today I'd like to discuss Java typecasting and instance of operator. Typecasting in Java denotes converting one data type to another data type. This is of two types, like casting between primitive numeric types and casting between object references or simply references. Casting between numeric types is basically used to convert one numeric type values to another numeric type values, such as byte, short, int, long, float, double. So if I am following this particular numeric values, as we go in the right hand side, so double is considered to be wider data type with respect to int. So that means as you move at the left hand side, the data type will be narrower. As you move in the right hand side, it will be indicating a wider data type. Now casting between object references denotes an object by a compatible class, interface or array type reference. There can be two casting scenarios like upcasting or implicit casting and downcasting or explicit casting. So that is the idea to be used here. Now comes the instance of operator, which is also called the type comparison operator. It helps us determine if an object belongs to a specific class or implements a specific interface. An interface is basically a special kind of class which is having final fields and abstract methods. It will be discussed later whenever I will be discussing about interface in details. So now I will be moving to the demonstration part, and that will be done using the NetBeans IDE, which is one of the most popular IDEs for Java programming. So let's move to the demonstration part. So now I will have NetBeans IDE and I have written three programs here. First, I have defined here a superclass named animal. So I have not put anything inside the body of the class. Similarly, I can have another class that is a subclass named dog, which happens to be the subclass of the class named animal. So it is the subclass of animal class. Now I have a public class. So now I have got the main method. Within the main method, I have a variable, integer type variable with the value 10 and a double type variable with the value 23.5. So I will be first printing their respective values. Let's try to run the program here. So now we are having the output. So here first I will be trying to explain the concept of upcasting, that means implicit typecasting with respect to numeric type. Then I will be explaining about downcasting or explicit casting with respect to numeric types. So for upcasting with respect to primitive numeric types means converting narrower data types to wider data types without loss of information, such as for example into double. So that is a typical example. Whereas downcasting with respect to primitive numeric type means converting wider data type to narrower data type with loss of information such as double to int. So if you have this particular relationship between the numeric types like byte, short, int, long, float, double, as you move in the right hand side, so the data type will be wider. As you move at the left hand side, the data type will be narrower. Say for example, I have got the variable int type variable and it is having the value 10. Now we can write here long L equal to A. So if you look at this particular relationship, you can find here long is considered to be a wider data type compared to int. So this variable like int type variable can be assigned to the long type variable L directly. We need not use a cast operator in this case. So that is the idea of upcasting. Similarly, for the next example, say for example float g, which is basically a variable of type float, can be initialized with the value of the variable a. So that means what? Int type variable a can be used for initializing the floating point variable g. That means it is following this relationship because float is wider data type compared to int. Remember that this particular concept is applicable for numeric data types only. So char and boolean will not be considered here. Like this rule cannot be applied to char and boolean. It will be applicable for numeric types only. Now I can write here d equal to a. D is basically of double type and L is of basically long type. So that we can write here because according to this particular convention, double is considered to be wider than long. So following this relationship, we can have say upcasting and downcasting with respect to primitive types. So far we have dealt with upcasting with respect to primitive types. Now I will be referring to the downcasting or explicit typecasting. That means here we are going to convert wider data type to narrower data type with loss of information, such as for example double to int. So like in this example, d is of type double. Now the variable double is getting converted into float. So according to this relationship, float is considered to be a narrower type compared to double. So that is why we need a cast operator in this case. So since we need a cast operator here, that is called explicit typecasting or downcasting. So that is the idea of upcasting and downcasting with respect to primitive type. Now I am going to explain upcasting and downcasting with respect to object reference type. Say for example, I have already given you two classes. Animal is the superclass and dog is the subclass of animal. Now if I am writing here animal that is the reference, so it is basically initialized with the object of dog. Since when we cast a reference along the class hierarchy in a direction from the subclasses towards the superclass, it is called an upcast. We need not use a cast operator in this case. We can also say it alternatively that every dog is an animal. Clear? So that is the idea of using upcasting here. Now we have initialized the superclass reference variable animal in lower cases with the object of the dog class. Since I have told it like every dog is an animal, so it is indicating uh, an user relationship. So now if I am going to convert this value, like the value of this object reference, so we need to use the typecast here. So this is the example of downcast. That means when we cast a reference along the class hierarchy in a direction from the superclass towards the subclass, so it's a downcast. We must use a cast operator in this case because there are several types of animal. It might be a cat, it might be a dog, or it might be even a tiger. So we need to explicitly mention about which kind of animal we are specifically dealing with. So that is why you need to mention the typecast operator for converting the superclass reference to the corresponding subclass reference type. So that is why we need a cast operator in this case. So it is basically pointing towards a dog object. Now we need an explicit casting here. By using this explicit casting, we will be able to convert this into the dog type object. So now this can be assigned to the object reference variable for the class dog. So that is the idea that we have implemented here. So here we have tried to print the values of different variables while demonstrating the concept of upcasting and downcasting with respect to primitive types. So that is the basic idea of upcasting and downcasting with respect to primitive types and object reference type. Now I will be moving to the next example. Here this is an example of, say, typecasting. Say for example we have got three classes like class X, which happens to be a superclass of Y and Z. That means Y and Z are here considered to be siblings. So like class Y extends X and class Z extends X. So this is basically an example of hierarchical inheritance. Now I will be using some code statement to demonstrate different case scenarios that may arise with respect to typecasting in Java. So first I have tried to create an object of the class X, that is the superclass, followed by the objects of the subclasses Y and Z. So first three statements will be denoting the creation of the objects for the classes X, Y and Z, where X is the superclass and Y and Z are the subclasses of X. Now I will be performing several experiments here by writing different kinds of coding statements. Like if I am writing here X, that is a class name, xy equal to new y, so there is no problem because it is denoting upcasting, because it is indicating the user relationship. Similarly for the next statement, if I am writing here x xz equal to new z, this is also applicable, so there will not be any problem. So here we are having some rules like for compilation and for runtime. The compile time rules are there to catch attempted cast in cases that are simply not possible. This happens when we try to attempt cast on objects that are totally unrelated, that is not subclass superclass relationship or a class interface relationship. At runtime, a class cast exception is thrown if the object being cast is not compatible with the new type it is being cast to. Say for example, if I am writing here this kind of statement, like say for example, if I am uncommenting this statement, So it is showing here they are basically incompatible types. So why are they considered to be incompatible types? Because this particular rule is not applicable for the siblings. So that is why I have to comment the quote statement. Similarly, for the next two, we can also say that x is not a y. We can say that y is x or z is x, but we cannot say the reverse thing. Okay, so the reverse concept is not true here. Clear? So that is why I have commented the three statements. Next comes x1 equal to y. Yes, it's okay. Similarly, for the next x2 equal to z. Yes, it's okay. Now for the second like example with respect to class y and its reference variable y1, if I am writing here yx, it will be compiled successfully, but if I am trying to run it, it will be generating a class cast exception. Because this happens when we try to attempt cast on object that are totally unrelated. That means that is not subclass superclass relationship or a class interface relationship. Here we are trying to consider the examples of classes only. So that is the idea. Similarly, for the next code statement, it will be compiled successfully, but it will produce runtime error. Now, if I am considering this code statement, it will be compiled and run successfully because x1 is basically type y that we can see here. Similarly, for the next one, we can also write say z2 equal to z within typecast and x2. That means it is also considered to be a valid statement. So now for the next two statements, these are basically inconvertible types because these are siblings. Now we have object o equal to j. Now if I am writing here object o1 equal to within bracket y, that is for typecasting, explicit typecasting o, it will be compiled successfully, but it will produce runtime error. So that is the idea that we have tried to implement here, and I have tried to demonstrate different types of typecasting with respect to object reference type. So I have also tried to consider the case of user relationship, that is the inheritance relationship. Next comes another beautiful example that will be demonstrating the use of the instance of operator. So what is an instance of operator? That I have already told. Just have a quick recap of the concept. Like the instance of operator is basically denoting a concept which lets us determine if an object belongs to a specific class or implements a specific interface. It returns true if an object is an instance of the class or if the object implements the interface. Otherwise, it returns false. So with this example, I will be trying to demonstrate the use of the instance of operator. Suppose I have got three classes here: vehicle, heavy vehicle and truck. So vehicle is basically the class that will be having a single variable, string type variable and a constructor, and this variable has been initialized with the value vehicle. Okay, now for the next one, that is called heavy vehicle, which is basically a subclass of vehicle, will be basically having a constructor which will be using the name field. Like by inheritance property, it will be getting access to this variable, so it will be assigned with the value string value heavy vehicle. Now for the next one, it is called truck, so it extends heavy vehicle. Basically we can see here a multi-level inheritance relationship. Like vehicle is the grandparent. From vehicle we have got heavy vehicle, and from heavy vehicle we are basically getting truck. So in that we can have a multi-level relationship in terms of inheritance. That is the example of multi-level inheritance. So that is the idea. Okay, so now we are having some variables like static boolean result that will be used for storing the result. Now we have tried to create some objects like for heavy vehicle, truck. Okay, and we can have a reference of heavy vehicle named HV2, but it has not been initialized with the object of the class heavy vehicle. It has been initialized with the value null. So it has not been initialized with the value of an object. Like of the object is not basically initializing this particular object reference variable. Now if I am writing here result equal to HV instance of heavy vehicle, that means I would like to know whether this particular object reference HV, which is basically storing the object of the heavy vehicle class, is a heavy vehicle. So obviously the result will be true, because this object is an instance of the class. So that is why it will be giving you the value true for this one. Now for the second one, we are writing here T instance of heavy vehicle. So T is basically denoting what? A reference variable of truck. So obviously by using the is relationship, we can say that a truck is basically an heavy vehicle. So the result will also be true here. Now for the next one, result equal to HV. HV basically denotes heavy vehicle instance of truck, but basically it will not be applicable because heavy vehicle is basically a subclass. Okay, so that is why if I am trying to write here HV instance of truck, so it is not applicable because truck is basically considered to be a subclass of heavy vehicle, but the reverse is not true. So we cannot say that heavy vehicle is an instance of truck, so that is why the result will be false. Now for the next one, we have written here HV2 instance of heavy vehicle. So what is the value of HV2? Null. So that means they are not related, they are unrelated. So that is why, so it should be representing the same class object reference, or basically it might be denoting the is a relationship. So that is not the case here. It has not been initialized with an object, and it is now denoting null. So that is why it will not be an instance of heavy vehicles. That is why the result is false. So that we are getting here. So in that way the program will be running and giving the output according to our expectation. Now we are writing here HV equal to 2 T, sorry. So HV equal to T basically a reference variable of truck, and HV is a heavy vehicle. So it is applicable, it is denoting basically upcasting with respect to reference type. Now if I am writing here T equal to truck HV, it is denoting basically downcasting with respect to object reference type. So it is basically indicating successful explicit casting from superclass to subclass. So that is the idea that we have implemented here. That is a typical example of instance of operator, which is also called the type comparison operator, and it will help us determine if an object belongs to a specific class or implements a specific interface. and it will return true if an object is an instance of the class or if the object implements the interface, otherwise it returns false. So that is the idea. Now I hope that you have thoroughly watched this video and understood the meaning of Java typecasting and the use of the instance of operator. So now I will be requesting you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, provided if you have liked my video. So here comes my YouTube channel URL, and please visit my website. You will get a lot of useful information here which might be beneficial for you. And here comes my official email ID. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.